Hello everybody in the chess world. So how to beat natural moves? What I mean is only natural moves. So we've all been there. You play a game of chess and your opponent is just going for only natural moves, just going for a draw, not calculating anything, zero, just play natural moves, development. If we capture something, they'll recapture, and they're just trying to maintain the material equality and make a draw like that. So okay, I'll be honest, and in here I'm going to ask you for some help, because there was a chess quote that inspired me to make this video. I spent almost an hour, I swear to you all, searching for this quote. I couldn't find it. I found out that there are a lot of internet sites that are dedicated to that, chess quotes. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I think that it was Capablanca, but don't mind me, I'm probably wrong. So the quote went something like this. Something like, if you want to lose a game of chess, just make sure to play all the natural moves that are available for you until the end. I think it was Capablanca. It was something like this. It was not verbatim. So if you know the chess quote I'm talking about, please leave it on the commentary. So I'm here to show you two examples of my games where I had to, beat such an opponent. And before going for that, think about this. Again, you've all been there, and there is a little bit of a psychological pressure, because we think, first of all, it's like, okay, this person is just playing all of these moves, but we have the responsibility of winning the game. So otherwise, it's like, hey, we cannot beat someone that is not calculating, that is just playing natural moves. We have the responsibility of winning that kind of game. And as in the first example that I'm going to show you right now, this was a tournament game. I had the black pieces and my opponent was like 300, rating points below me. So I also had the responsibility of winning because of the rating. And it was a good reason for him to play like this. So let's see the game. I was black again. He started by e4. I play my modern g6. Knight f3, bishop on g7. Bishop c4. Okay, initially at least going for, let us say, sort of aggressive line. I went g6. Castles, knight on f6, knight on c3, castles. h3, normally we'll think about d4. So already when he played h3, I was like, okay, quite passive. It's a good move anyway. I went knight on c6. d3. Well, again, kind of passive, because if you want to have to play some sort of Grand Prix attack, well, what is this knight doing on f3? Normally, you want this strong bishop here without the knight. Let us say this knight will be on e2, to then play f4 and f5. That is the way to play an aggressive Grand Prix. And that way, okay, then our pawn on d3, we cannot say that this is much more passive than d4. Well, it's just holding up the bishop. But in here, with h3, with knight on f3, I was like, this is quite passive. Okay, I play knight on a5. He gave me the opportunity. He did not make luft for this bishop, let us say with a3. So I took the opportunity. I won the pair of bishops. I want to take that strong bishop on c4. One bishop on b3. I exchange. Okay, he has the same open file for his rook, but okay, it's fine. But here already I smelled something. I was like, I think he's playing for a draw from the word go. His moves are kind of showing me that. So I thought about, maybe playing e5 like a normal move. I don't know. I thought for a while. In the end, I played d5. I wanted to play a little bit more aggressive, like, okay, I play d5 and try to attack. And I was expecting e5. I'm giving white the opportunity to take some space in the center, maybe then going for d4. Okay, then, it's kind of what I wanted, going like this. Let us say white will play d4. I'll try to push c5. It will be more like a real battle. But no, he takes d5. Once again, I was like, okay, he really wants to be equal. Just play the easiest, most natural moves. I took bishop on d2. He's insisting on this really passive moves. Like, he doesn't want to touch anything. just. So I went c6. Now he could have taken with the queen. But I play c takes d5. I was like, okay, if he lets me, I will play g4, take the space and play with that. But no, he was once again going for a pure draw, like d4. Okay, I got the pair of bishops. I have a good position here. I kind of know what he's going for, right? He's going for the draw. So bishop on f5, rook on e1. And after queen on c6, well, again, I was hitting on c2. He just went c3. And that way he also solidifies his pawn on d4. I mean, just solid strategy, right? So I went rook on f8. Bishop on e3. I mean, I remember that when he played this move, I was like, okay, this is kind of like pushing it, right? Okay, at least he's going to continue with queen on d2, making the battery to exchange my bishop on g7, but really bishop on e3 in here, I mean, so passive. And I don't know how wrong or not that move is, but okay, I went a6 first because I want to play with my rook on a8 without blundering the a7 pawn. At least he went for that, the aforementioned battery. Well, finally, you know, something kind of active. And I went for bishop on e4. Because when he went knight on g5, which was, you know, this was me trying to stir up some chaos. Of course, bishop on e4 was going to be answered by knight on g5, and we're thinking like, well, what are we doing with black? Well, I just went e5. I want chaos. I'll give back the pair of bishops, as I did. And now he took. Because this is funny, I remember that my calculations here went something like d5 and f5. Again, I wanted the chaos. Okay, I'll give you the pass pawn. I'll give you then pushing c4, but I will do my own, you know, on the king side. I was again going, you can say that even psychologically, he tricked me a little bit because I was going maybe too aggressive. I don't think, maybe white is better here, but I like my practical chances. No, not even that. He just took in the center. Rook 88 first, and after queen on e2, I recapture. Rook 81, and now you can see now this is the moment where his strategy is going to betray him, because you can see now all he wants is like he has, you know, material equality. He wants to exchange rooks, having, you know, exchange all the heavy pieces, even the queens after that, all through the d file, and make a draw like that. But he missed the detail that I have a good bishop against bad bishop. So now I'm the one who's going to play all the natural moves to then win the game. So this is the thing. He didn't even look at strategy. This was my idea, just f5. Now I'm just prepared. I mean, of course, f5 is the good move, and I'm trying to go for f4. But now I'm even preparing for the ending. He exchanged, and I remember here wishing like, please play rook d1. I'm sure that you'll want to play that because it's your solid move. Please do play that, and he did. I exchanged. And now it's me who wants to exchange here the heavy pieces. He won, you know, he was happy here, but look at the resulting position. I mean, even equal material. Okay, of course I have a good bishop against a bad bishop, and an extra pawn on the king side, while his extra pawn on the queen side is not effective. So, but again, I mean, he even looked tranquil and happy. I was sure that with some technique, of course, this is basically a winning position for black. Well, again, look at this is the problem for such players. They don't look at strategy. So he was even doing things strategically wrong from here on. He's just putting another pawn on the dark squares. Okay, of course he wants to prevent f4, but g3 is awful move. I just went with my king f1, king f6, and it's like he couldn't help himself. Final decisive mistake, another pawn on the dark squares. So you can see, if you only play natural moves and you don't look at strategy, I mean, you're going to be like just committing suicide. Well, I'm not even going to ask you to pause a video and think. It's really easy. Just f4, immediately winning. You know, of course, he cannot take it with the bishop. I mean, this, of course, this ending is ridiculous. And after pawn takes, I just play king on f5. I'll show you the remaining moves in the game. Just it's anecdotic. I'll just take on f4, bishop d8. I've even got bishop on c1, but when he went c4, I mean, I could have played bishop takes b2, h5. I just went for g5. Now I have a passed h pawn, so he can even exchange bishops. I'm the one who was always, you know, okay, really easy. h5, king f1, king f3. Okay, bishop d8, bishop e5. Check. He went back. Bishop d4, he went back. I played his waiting move, and well, he even made this mistake and resigned after e3. So, well, you can see, I mean, only natural moves, not looking at strategy. So the funny thing in the game is, like, initially he was the one trying to go for all the exchanges, but when we arrived to this position, I was the one that said, yeah, let us exchange, the heavy pieces. It will be much easier for me to impose, the strategical advantage. Good bishop against bad bishop, extra pawn on one of the sides. Really, it's a really normal example. I want to show you one more example. Okay, in this case, I won't show you the whole game. I think it's not necessary. Let me search for that game, because I could show, yeah, it's not necessary to show you the whole game. I was white. This was another tournament game. So I want to arrive to this position. So you can take a look at the position. You can see that, well, I was white here. I have a lot of advantage, mainly, on the queen side, the spatial advantage of these two pawns and how weak these pawns behind my pawns are. It's already quite a big reason for me to have a real advantage. But I want to insist on the subject of just playing natural moves. My opponent exchanged, again, starting by exchanging heavy pieces. He even played bishop takes on e5. After queen takes on e5, he went knight eg6. And I went queen c7, which I was sure that he had seen this, he had calculated this. Of course, I invaded with my queen and hitting the bishop. But of course, he trusted this exchange and rook on e7. Like saying, well, trying to exchange even more pieces, trying to make the defensive task easier for himself. So here you could pause the video and think for a moment, again, that there are 1,000 winning moves for white, because we are, again, in spite of the material equality, strategically we're 100% winning. But a little bit of a move that I know that he wouldn't expect. So bishop on f4. This was the first move that I made. So you can see the relationship of the pieces. His knight cannot take my bishop because he will be hanging the rook. So, well, he went the other way around. Now I get my bishop hitting both of the weaknesses. But, of course, he trusted knight on d7. And now, once again, I think if you see this with a computer, you'll see like +3 or something like that for white. And 1,000 winning moves. But I played the simplest, which is bishop takes, h takes, and knight on d2. And there's no way for black to prevent this simple route for my knight. After that, I'll force the exchange of knights, and both of these pawns will fall. Once again, this is the consequence of just playing natural moves and not paying attention to strategical themes in the position. And there's nothing he can do. He can even started bringing his king, but knight on e5. Just nothing to do. If you go away with a knight, I'll just play bishop takes on b6. Okay, he played knight takes, bishop takes on e5. Why playing d takes e5 check? Giving him the pass d pawn and maybe getting this bishop back to life. This comes with check. His king cannot reach the defense of the b6 pawn. So after king here, f3 first, not to let him pass. And after g5, final nail on the coffin. So he doesn't even have any sort of hope of bringing his king. After we come back, just bishop on c7. And of course, I'm eating the b6 pawn, d5 pawn, black resign. So again, shorter video, but I like these sort of positions where all of you probably experience this. Opponents just not paying attention to strategical subjects, to no nuance, in the game. Just trusting, okay, if I keep material equality, I don't blunder anything, and I develop my pieces and I make natural moves, everything will be fine. I'll have a draw. Well, no, that's not how chess works. So I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. I'll ask you as usual to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.